It honestly feels like this movie could have been released in 2005.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, like, especially the house scenes with Silas, and Aaron and Chris when they're undercover. It just doesn't feel like real sometimes. And it feels like it was like written in like the early 2000s.
Well, that's when it's supposed to take place, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to take place, but it just feels like the movie, the look, like this directing
Sort of.
kind of feels that way. It's kind of weird.
How we start it?
Oh yeah.
Welcome to.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Thanks. Welcome to Movies Are Dead. Hi, I'm your host Boris, and my co-host Nikki Sins.
Nikki Sins. I love that. That's just
He's looking for work, ladies. Send an email.
No, it's okay. No.
American Gigolo over here.
Yeah, no. Boris is exaggerating.
Anyway, yeah, the audience wouldn't know this, but we haven't seen each other in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
It's been 3 weeks. Yeah, we took some time off, took a mini break. Nothing crazy or anything, but Boris had to leave town and go see the family in Mexico. So he has to do what he has to do. He looks great though. By the way, comparison to the last time I saw him, Pull Vinyl Part 2, he looks like $1 million. Actually, he looks way better.
Wow,
you do.
So nice. Ding. Yeah, thank you. I don't know what to do with compliments.
No, you don't. He's like literally like being blown away by this, like a flower in the wind.
No, yeah, I never get compliments.
You don't. It's kind of weird. I think you do. You've gotten compliments in front of me.
How often do you get compliments?
I don't know. When I do, I kind of feel the exact same way as you do. I feel like I'm unworthy, embarrassed, and I immediately want to insult the other person.
You do?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
So if somebody's like, man, you look good, Nick, I'm like, you look terrible. Or you look like shit, dude. You need to,
That's funny.
do this
Something
and that.
else. I don't go that far.
I know.
Like, oh,
it's kind of
me.
weird. It's like a defensive thing.
Yeah, defense mechanism.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, it might go back to bullying. Like, you never knew. Like, people told you look good. They were, like, doing it facetiously.
Yeah, they would
like,
be
like,
sarcastic. There was deep sarcasm behind it.
Yeah, anyway. Today we're talking about Destroyer, directed by Karyn Kusama.
Kusama.
Came out 2018.
Yep. I missed this one in theaters, and I was really irritated when I did miss it.
Me too. I only like heard about it. Didn't really hear anyone talk about it.
Yeah, I heard her on Switchblade Sisters. Karyn Kusama, when she was promoting the movie. I heard her talk about it. It was awesome. I forgot what movie they talked about, though. Damn it. I gotta remember. But I asked people if they had seen Destroyer, and they're like, no. This one's kind of like low-key.
It got mixed reviews, which...
I know. I was looking at the rating. It was like 6.2 or something, which I never go by, but
yeah,
it's disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, critics, you know how they are.
Yeah.
They're often confused. Don't know what's going on. Wanna like all agree with each other.
They do. They always do. Yes.
And I was curious about why you picked this movie to watch.
I picked it because, honestly, I had missed it.
Mm-hmm.
We had been talking about action, noir stuff, Sicario, and I was thinking about gun violence, and I remember hearing Karyn Kusama talk about there was like a shootout scene, and, I just wanted to see a movie, that is a noir, set in the modern age, and has like a gun shootout scene, which, we've talked about before, but it's like going extinct in movies, But, and it's also like Nicole Kidman,
mm-hmm.
You're her transformation. Yeah, I like her movies. Her transformation. I remember that was like the big thing in the trailer when this movie came out. Like, look at Nicole Kidman,
Yeah, I guess so.
And
it just seems like she like rubs dirt on her face, rolls around a little bit before each take, and she's.
It looks like because for those of you who haven't seen it, we have like more than like multiple flashbacks. There's like 2 stories happening at one time, one in the past and one in the present. And I feel like the story in the past, she's way too pretty. Like, she's like stunning, like in the past.
Mm-hmm. They like try to like dress her down a bit.
They kind of did, but they were still like, she was still like Nicole. I was like, Jesus Christ, like she's beautiful, like in the past.
Yeah.
And like the present, it is a shock to see her like so old and so worn, which would be from alcohol use, right? Her character was an alcoholic. I don't think she just rolled around in dirt though.
No,
I
was kidding.
So. Oh, okay. Yeah, like
There's sort of I don't know how to describe it. There's something very dramatic. Yeah, I guess
it's the
something
eyes.
Very,
She does something with the eyes and her breathing. Her breathing is like you can. I love the way they use sound in this movie.
Yeah.
The use of sound is like the opposite of Christopher Nolan movies. It's just like that you can hear every breath, every sigh, chatter. You know, it's like excellent sound design use, and what she does with her character is like pretty cool. I like the way she's breathing, the way she carries herself. You know, what do you think of it overall?
I liked it a lot.
Yeah,
and didn't know how I felt about it until like the last 15 minutes, when that sort of clever twist
I
is
know.
revealed.
I did not expect that, and yeah, you could call me an idiot, Nick. You're a buffoon.
No.
Oh, you didn't see that one coming? I'm like, no, I didn't. I honestly did not see that one coming at all.
No one's gonna call you a buffoon over this.
I know. Nobody says buffoon.
Because I was also surprised. Yeah, it's true. It's an underused word, but yeah, there's
I love that twist though. It
Yeah.
almost felt like it reminded me of the first time I had seen Memento.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It just brought me back to the first time I watched Memento, and I put everything together, and I was like, oh man, I just watched something that's like in pieces, and I put it together myself. You know.
Right. Yeah, it's sort of makes you rethink the whole movie and what was going on. It makes you like the first sequence we see is actually the ending of the movie. And Nicole Kidman's character shows up, stumbles into this crime scene. And ultimately it turns out that she's the killer. And she tells them that, but they're like, oh, you're a drunk, get out of here. And then she does. And it just makes you sort of recontextualize the whole movie, what you've been watching. Because you think she's trying to figure out not only who murdered this. No, she knows it was Silas, but she knows trying to find where Silas is. And we don't know that the dead body is Silas. Ultimately. It's her ultimate goal. And she sort of revisits the crime scene to just sort of try to get a sense of if they have any leads or not, and they have no idea what's going on. They probably never will.
Yeah, the way they set it up in the beginning is like you think this is just some like hoodlum gangster dude that died, you know, and then at the end, once it's revealed who it is, you're like, oh, wow, you know. Did she show up there to deflect? Like she was like just for them to throw it off like her, like the case, so they wouldn't suspect it was her?
I don't think it was that as much as that it was partly that she wanted to revisit the crime scene, sort of like to like make sure that it wasn't a dream or something, some sort of fantasy, because like she was looking for him for so long, so determined to get after him, and the scene where she actually does kill him, it's brief, and it's surprising how
so quick.
It's like Karyn Kusama doesn't really like try to build up any suspense or any like big moments. She just kills him.
Gets it over with.
Yeah.
No, because I feel like in so many movies, like there's that scene where the protagonist finally finds the villain, and there's just some sort of long, like crazy dialogue and crazy action sequence that's drawn out when honestly they could have just pulled out the gun and shot them. Man, I forgot that movie with Jesse Eisenberg that just came out like a year and a half ago. The Art of, where he plays a martial artist.
Self-defense?
The Art of Self-Defense.
Yeah.
That director does the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So I like when they just end it. You know, they just like bam, 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 you know. Because it's something not drawn out. And it's like the whole buildup was there. It's like this is like a 20-year saga almost. So, okay, so the kids skateboarding, what does that mean? What does that mean? Like at the end when he lands a kickflip, does that mean it's just like finally done? Like
yeah, it's just a small
finality,
sort of funny. Yeah, it's like the journey is the circle is complete now.
Yeah,
it's over. She can
pass
die.
away.
Yeah,
man, what'd you think of like her stomach and the pearl? It was like all purple. Would she have like a broken rib and she just let it?
I think it. I read somewhere I was also confused because it says internal bleeding from a gunshot in the bank.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah, you can't really tell. But I guess that's what you're supposed to like suspect when you see all that internal, damage.
Yeah.
All that
That was
purple. All those
disgusting.
purple.
I've never seen that in the movie. I haven't seen it like something like
Really?
that in the movie in a while.
um, but yeah, I like this movie a lot, and because it was just like surprisingly an emotional journey of this person who was like so traumatized and filled with guilt and pain.
I think the guilt part got me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like her daughter, how she ends up, like what she's becoming, hanging out with that older dude.
Yeah. Jay.
Yeah, Jay, that guy.
That
He's
guy's
like 25,
infuriating.
but it was like he's 40. And like that bar scene when she's like, "You got to get out of this bar," and like, and like she tells people this girl's 16. And Jay's like, "You're a wino and a drunk."
Yeah, that scene where they mean like the Chinese restaurant and Jay turns up. That's like an infuriating scene.
That is such a like. That's probably like a parent's worst nightmare. Like if you tried your best to raise your kid, she's like, "No, no," you know what I mean? She's like literally screaming "no," and like, I don't know. Yeah, the guilt got to me, the pain, that memory of her and her daughter in the snow, the way it's like. I don't even think. You have to show that scene. You can almost. I pictured it immediately when they were describing it.
Yeah.
When they're in the diner.
I think bringing it back for the moment when she's dying.
Yeah.
Just
It's like one of the
made it very special.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, it works. Like it's like this is like probably her best warm memory
right
before death.
It's just
Do you think death is like that? You think?
Like it just blinding light. I mean, probably when you're dying of internal bleeding. Yeah, it's like a slow fading away.
Do you think But do you think your warmest memories will show up?
I mean, you'll probably try to think of something that's comforting at the end, though, right? That makes it not seem as bad, or makes you think to yourself that your life was worth it.
Yeah.
I don't think it just. I don't know. She just probably that was the last thing that she was reminded of by her daughter.
Yeah, I always like when filmmakers try to interpret death.
Yeah.
Like Cameron Crowe and Vanilla Sky, images and pop culture and everything you've seen in your life. Or like even The Sopranos, David Chase, just a cut to black.
Yeah.
At least that's the theory. And then like what Karyn Kusama does, it's like very different. It's like just one memory and you're floating.
Yeah.
And it's this is it.
I don't know. It's just like I have a hard time believing that people watching this movie weren't like impressed by that or just emotionally affected.
I was.
Yeah.
I didn't expect to feel so moved at the end of the movie.
Right, me too.
I thought I was just gonna be like, yeah, she got the bad guy, she's gonna die in the car, and that's it. But like, I was like, at the end, and like 10 minutes after the movie, I was like, damn, that was like moving.
Yeah,
and it got me to thinking about like reality, memories.
It reminded me a lot of this movie. Reminded me a lot of I think came out the same year. That Lynn Ramsey movie, You Were Never Really Here.
It does. They have the same thing going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the way it's funny you bring that up because they both use like memory and past events in this weird traumatic way.
Right, and there's that. I love that movie a lot. Like
me too.
A lot.
That's like
a lot, like crazy.
You do, yeah. You have referenced that movie a lot, yeah.
Yeah, Lynn Ramsey in general, I think is just a genius. But that scene in the lake.
Wait, didn't you meet her?
I did in Mexico in Morelia.
Dude, that is so cool. Weren't you like, I'm a fan?
I'm like, I'm such a fan. It's nice to meet you. And like I got embarrassed and I went to the theater. But anyway, yeah, there's that scene where Joaquin Phoenix tries to like drown himself in the lake.
Yeah.
And it reminded me a lot of the ending of this movie.
Yeah.
Where you're just sort of letting go. And all you have is like your memories left at the end.
At the end, yeah.
And they're not especially like happy or comforting, but they're like something that makes it seem like it was worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, just the way they both use, like both of those movies use like memory, especially like Joaquin's like traumatic like childhood, his abusive background, right? He was abused, right?
Also, yeah, and just guilt
just
from
those
like
little moments.
Trauma from what he's seen.
Yeah.
Experience. And just like, yeah, it's just like that sort of ending is uncommon in American film now, I think. Like, I don't really remember any movies that are just it seems spiritual. I don't know if that's the right word for it, but it just seems like it tries to go for something much more deeper,
Yeah.
on like an emotional, spiritual level than most movies about, like, you know, like a noir cop movie are willing to go. They're just sort of those sorts of movies are much more, you know, concrete, take place in like reality, just not have a better word for it. They just don't want to go into that deep into the metaphysical like this movie does, and I was impressed by that because it's not, it doesn't seem like something people will handle well. They're either into it or they're not.
Yeah, I know. The way this movie starts out, it does feel like a mystery thriller. Let's go get the bad guy. Something happens halfway, though. I think once you get to know, you know, the character of Erin, you just start to feel her pain and everything. And I really like the flashback scenes, even though they look outdated at some points. I know they're supposed to, but it just feels like, I don't know, it feels like the movie kind of like takes you back to like a mid 2000s independent movie or something.
Yeah,
like that scene of the Russian roulette.
Yeah.
You know, that scene. You know how like weird that was. You know, and Silas is like pretty much like trying to act like a god, manipulate somebody.
Yeah,
it was like this weird wisdom. It was like wisdom mixed with like self-centered, egotistical, like jealousy. It was weird.
Right, sort of like a cult thing.
It was like a cult thing. He's like, why would you let somebody tell you what to do or something?
Yeah. So like,
and there's like 3 bullets in the gun.
Yeah.
So he wanted him dead.
Yeah. Or didn't care either way. He just wanted something like a cat playing with like his food or something.
It was weird.
Yeah, and Silas is we don't really get to know him, so I can't really say he's an interesting character, but
Did he read minds?
I don't think so.
What was that sequence of?
Just
Remember?
bullshitting.
But he was like staring at her. He's like, I know who you are.
Yeah. I mean, it's like people do that. It's like such a like a middle school thing, like exactly what you're thinking right now. But the thing
That's
is,
what I was trying to say. Okay, go ahead.
he's just like you see him and he's not really that charismatic or interesting. Like if we saw him, if we just like met him on the street, and you'd be like, why do all these people listen to him? Like, why are all these people under his spell? But the thing is that if you like, you ever seen like a cult documentary, read about cult leaders or people like that, or just met someone with like a shitty boyfriend, you're usually like, oh, why is this person interested in this person? And the thing is that they usually don't have to be the most charismatic or the most charming or most intelligent or interesting. They usually have some sort of chemistry with these people that they can sort of connect in a way that they don't connect with others. And that's sort of the spell that Erin and Chris, thank you, fall under. That the combination of their lives as cops being so unfulfilling, their background, and then they find this sort of makeshift family that they sort of feel a part of and feel connected to, no matter like how depressing and dour it is.
Like that one scene, Tatiana
Maslany.
and her character. So Petra, her character. Petra and Erin have a moment after the bank robbery.
Mm-hmm.
And like Petra's now in her probably mid-30s, early 40s maybe.
Yeah, like
right?
late 30s, yeah.
And she's like, Silas doesn't want me anymore. He doesn't even have sex with me anymore. He just wants these young girls.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just using me. They know, but they're still like doing whatever Silas wants them to do. And yeah, you mentioned the family aspect of it. And especially specifically that scene when, hold on, what's the character's name? One sec. Oh, I forgot his name. Toby. When he's in the van after the botched bank deal.
Yeah.
And he starts to cry. He's like, are you a cop? Are you a fucking cop? And he starts to cry. And you're like, oh, man, this guy's like, he was actually believing them. And like, there's some sort of betrayal.
Yeah.
And I think that's where, like, of course, the death of Chris affects Erin. That's like the biggest aspect in that scene. But like, that's like another layer. Like, she betrayed people. And now she's getting rid of the money.
Yeah.
In a dumpster. So she's like, just losing everything and going against like her moral code or compass, whatever she had.
Yeah. I can't imagine they get paid very well doing that undercover stuff, but that doesn't really lead to much loyalty, right? Like these people, and you see this in like film noirs, crime movies going back to the gangsters in the 30s. where there's always some sort of element of betrayal. And, the character who's doing the betraying, these are criminals, and they should not feel bad about it, but they do because these people trusted them. So it reminds you of all kinds of movies, Michael Mann movies, Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
Well, there's that
Singing
big betrayal. Yeah.
There's always that moment. Scarface or something,
Donnie Brasco. Yeah. So that sort of thing where you just put your trust in these people. And even though they're doing bad things, you still sort of feel
Reservoir Dogs.
Extremely guilty, right?
Harvey Keitel cry at the end. Yeah. He's like, I'm a cop. And he's like,
great moment.
It is a great moment.
Yeah. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, there's a lot of people. I don't want to make this about other people, but I'm sort of disappointed that people didn't like this movie. So I thought it was pretty good.
I'm not surprised they didn't, because it's just, it's even got Scoot McNairy. Okay, so Scoot's character, Ethan, was that Aaron's ex-husband?
Yeah. I think, yeah.
And then she fell in love?
It's never really clear.
No, right?
Or maybe she met him after.
Right? Maybe
she
after.
Got out of it.
He seems like the dude you'd meet after.
Yeah.
He's such a nice guy.
Yeah. He's like a hard worker, and it's like, it's nice enough.
He's like
guy.
a rock, kind of, and you just, I don't know.
And then, yeah, like I'm like sort of it's funny how he like reacted to she, like he knows that his daughter's dating this guy who's like in his 20s.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, that's Jay. He's like, oh,
he said, oh, that's Jay.
Can't really do like he feels so powerless. He can't do anything to stop it.
Yeah, because raising a teenager is probably like the worst.
Yeah, he's like a single dad. He's like working all day. You can't really
what was
control
his job? Like air conditioning or something? He's like,
he's like an air conditioning. Yeah.
He's such an underrated actor, in my opinion, Scoot McNairy. And the way
He's,
they like misused him in Batman versus Superman is like a travesty.
I don't even remember that.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Oh, I think I was on the plane back and someone was watching that movie, and I was like, oh, that's Scoot McNairy.
Yeah,
he's
he
in a
shows
wheelchair.
up, and you're like, what is he doing in this movie?
That's so funny. He's in The Quiet Place Part 2, by the way.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's got a small role.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a great actor. And I don't know. He just has that thing where you just sort of like look at him and you know what he's about, what he's doing.
You do. Even in something like Killing Them Softly, he has that like...
Yeah.
He's like... He plays like a dumb character, like not the most intelligent dude. But you still feel bad for him.
Yeah.
There's still some sort of sympathy.
Speaking of that movie, Ben Mendelsohn, I love Ben Mendelsohn. He's like the
Ben
best.
Mendelsohn.
He's the Australian guy, Animal Kingdom.
Star Wars. Comes out in Star Wars. Rogue
Is
One.
he? Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
He's in Dark Knight Rises.
Oh, he's great in that movie. Instead of Killing Him Softly as a junkie.
Yeah.
He's like nodding out.
He's like driving the band of all those dogs.
Yeah, that's right.
It's great. Great movie, too.
Man, that movie is like a trip, man.
Yeah.
That movie is literally... We're going to have to do that one soon.
Sure.
I'll add it to the list. Sam Shepard comes out, and you're like, what the fuck is Sam Shepard
Richard Jenkins,
doing?
another favorite. Yeah.
You're like, what's he
everybody.
doing in this movie? He just shows up, and you're like, what the fuck?
James Gandolfini, too.
Yeah.
It's great.
I think that's one of those movies where I look back, and I'm like, I've probably watched the movie like 3 times, and it's probably like Brad Pitt's most underrated movie. And I just feel like when it came out, it was just too soon because of the politics behind it.
Yeah.
The politics behind the movie is like so complicated. You know, I think if that movie had come out during the Trump era, like in like 2017, 2018, it probably would have done better, but I just don't know if it could have been like widely seen.
Maybe. It just sort of feels sort of like a cynical...
It's probably like the most critical American movie. Like it critiques America in such a fucked up way where you leave the movie thinking like, what are we doing here?
Right. I mean, people don't like the associations of being compared, like the capitalist system being compared to like hitmen and robbery and thieves. But essentially that's what it is.
Yeah. It's definitely a complicated
It's movie. A hard movie. Like his movie before that, Andrew Dominic, The Killing of
Jesse James
by the Coward Robert Ford is also another masterpiece.
That is a masterpiece.
That people don't really...
That's an extremely long movie. With I think it's 2 hours and 42 minutes, right?
Yeah. And it has such a great performance in cinematography.
Dude, Sam Rockwell. I forgot he came out in that movie.
Right.
And Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner.
Just show up. Zoe Deschanel. I'm like, what the all these like great actors and like.
But yeah,
the
it's
cinematography is amazing.
probably Casey Affleck's best performance.
That is Casey Affleck's best performance in my opinion.
Yeah, like, it's like the little voice he does, the little voice he gives Robert Ford.
Yeah.
It's like a little
I don't even
whiny,
know what it
wispy
is.
voice.
It is. It's a lot of that.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Oh, your biggest fan, Mr. James. Something like that. So he's like a little kid in the man's body.
He is. What do you
Yeah.
think that is?
I think that's such an interesting thing because like this whole life has been idolizing Jesse James, right?
And he finally meets him.
And he finally meets him. He doesn't know him to like be like a really big fan, like you mean like your favorite baseball player or something.
Right? Met his hero. Don't
Yeah,
meet your
celebrity
heroes.
worship's always bad, right?
The narration too of that movie, I like it. It's like a little bit of that.
Yeah. He's making a new movie, Blonde, with Ana de Armas playing Marilyn Monroe.
That's right. I heard about that.
Yeah,
Should be
excited.
good. He's an underrated filmmaker, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's great.
He does like movies. You know, like movies. Like,
Yeah, remind me of a lot of 70s stuff.
yeah.
A lot of like, McCabe and Mrs. Miller,
That's what I was gonna say,
sort
yeah.
of like Friends of Eddie Coyle, sort of guy.
Yeah, he has that vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Friends of Eddie Coyle. That's another one I've seen multiple times.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like, I'm kind of obsessed with that movie.
Yeah, Robert Mitchum, that's just like
Dude.
such a like an expression on his face. Where he just like the way he walks.
The way he walks, the way he drinks,
Yeah.
the way he just sits at a bar, and you look into his eyes, and you're like, whoa. Like, the way, like, he has that Boston accent and everything. And like,
Yeah, he just looks so tired. You feel bad.
he looks tired.
Yeah.
He looks tired, and he looks like Dean Martin's brother, kind of. Like, there's striking similarities.
Yeah.
But Peter Boyle, yeah, in that movie, too.
Peter Boyle's always great.
He is great.
Anyway, all those movies are very much influential or seem influential on this movie in that way that they just sort of seem dark and dreary and just have a character that's just like filled with regret and tired.
Yeah, I like when Aaron goes up to the lawyer's house,
Yeah.
and then the bodyguard punches her, and she, like, throws up.
Yeah.
Feels like that's something that would actually happen to a person.
Right. Yeah,
It's probably
yeah.
happened to me. I'm trying to remember where you get punched or you get the wind knocked out of you. You want to vomit
Right.
immediately after.
Definitely.
That's real. You know, I don't know. It kind of depressed me though, like the lawyer having sex with Petra, and she's like a kid at the time.
Yeah.
And I was just like, is anybody good in this movie? There's like no good guys, you know.
Oh, yeah. It's
Even the Wiz from Seinfeld comes out.
Does he?
Yeah, the Wiz. I'm the Wiz. That guy. He's the dude in the beginning that works in the federal building.
Oh
And he's like,
yeah.
how are the kids? Right,
Toby
how's the daughter?
Huss. Let me see how
Yeah,
right
dude.
about
Did
Toby
you know he
Huss.
came out in a Bjork video?
No, but
That's
he's
like
great.
his first. I think that was his first breakthrough role.
Dude, I think he's so great. He's also in *Halt and Catch Fire*, Scoot McNairy,
Oh, okay.
and he's also really good in everything I've ever seen him in.
Yeah, even the Wiz when he's the Wiz.
Yeah,
It's
I
like-
forgot he was the Wiz.
Yeah,
That's really funny.
that's weird.
But yeah, this movie sort of operates in this like very dark sort of like. I had something to say about the cinematography, which is that it was shot in digital, the
Yeah.
Arri Alexa Mini, and let's say I like David Fincher a lot, but at the same time, I feel like his movies and the cinematography in his movies have been a bad influence on everything probably since
7.
probably since 7. Even though that was shot on film.
Yeah.
It just seems like everything really since, I don't want to say Zodiac, so probably like Social Network, has this like really dark, underexposed, desaturated
that's what's
look.
his name? What's his DP's name? Jeff Cronenworth.
Yeah,
That's
that's
his name.
right. And son of the famous Jordan Cronenworth. And they just, that sort of look carried on into seemingly every dramatic TV show
No, you're right.
from HBO or Showtime or
They
FX.
all look the same.
And every sort of like indie crime drama
It kind of has that
that's
same
come
look.
out in the last decade. And I think it's too bad. Like, I like the look of this movie.
I do. Yeah.
It makes sense for what it is. Same time, it's a dirty movie. I don't want it to look so clean digital, you know?
It's true.
It looks a little bit too, again, clean. Looks a little bit
It does
too
look a little too
sanitized
clean. Yeah.
for what it is. And there's a lot of shots in this movie that are beautiful. But at the same
Do
time,
you think the Dodger Stadium shot
yeah, I like that
is
shot.
that real? Are
I
they actually
think
in front?
so.
Because I'm trying to do the like where they were standing,
Yeah.
and where the city's at, and where Chavez Ravine the stadium is. I was trying to like put
Mm-hmm.
two and two together if it made sense geographically. And I'm not too sure if they were actually there or if it's just a cutaway and then they put them in front of there. I don't know. I'd be
It's
happy.
definitely
to know.
like a cutaway, like an elliptical moment that
Right.
just it seems like a sort of breath after that scene.
For this weird moment in the beginning, they're like, they had the Dodgers playing,
Yeah.
and playoffs and everything. It was like in the air,
Mm-hmm.
which happens, in any like baseball city where you can just feel it. Specifically in LA, if the Lakers are in the playoffs or the Dodgers,
Right.
immediately everybody's like a fucking
Fan.
Laker or Dodger fan, even if you don't watch it habitually. I like that aspect of it. But yeah, you're right about the cinematography though.
Yeah, Julie Kirkwood, great job. But at the same time, it's just this influence. It doesn't even seem like it's a conscious decision to like, oh, let's make it look like Girl with the Dragon Tattoo or something. It just seems like something that people have fallen into with digital cinematography.
Yeah, I was talking about that with my buddy, and he was talking. We were talking about how like at a certain point in the '90s, in the late '90s, like everything was so overexposed. Everything was just so bright. Music videos, commercials, movies. Everything was so lit bright. And then now we're at this point where everything's like lit dark.
Yeah.
And we've been in this weird phase for like 5-6 years now.
Yeah, there's like an article like a few years about it, about like why is every TV show so dark now? And I half agree. Like there's like a lot of TV shows. The one that's been a big hit recently, Mayor of Easttown, that's shot in a similar way.
I've heard about that show.
Yeah, it's like a cop mystery drama, murder mystery, and
I was talking to somebody and they told me Mayor of Easttown, and I thought they were talking about like a mayor, like
like
you're
a
in charge,
horse,
like a mayor. Like no, you're in charge of the fucking city.
I thought a mayor was like a horse. So if
Yeah,
I was
mayor.
like a horse of
M-A-R-E.
Easttown, but no, it's a character.
And then they're
It's a
talking
person.
about Kate Winslet, and I was like, oh, she's the mayor of like a town. I was, that's so weird.
That'd be funny.
It would. I was thinking of something like Veep or like Parks and Rec, and then all of a sudden they're like, no, it's this. I was like, oh.
But yeah, also, yeah, I mean, what makes this movie special, especially after watching Mayor of Easttown, is that this movie is so much more emotionally affecting. And that through Nicole Kidman's performance, certainly, it captures a sort of person who just sort of, that at least I see myself turning into, just someone who's so filled with regret about the decisions they've made over the course of their entire life.
Yeah.
They have to find something, anything, to redeem themselves. And for her, it's trying to track down Silas and take revenge, even though it's ultimately not very satisfying. Like she says in that scene in the hospital, no one's held accountable for what they do.
Yeah, she walks out.
And she knows probably that this won't make any dent in the crime in LA or the world or anything, or the bad or the evil in it. But this one thing will probably make...
It would make her world okay.
Yeah. It'll be
A
some sort of
finalization.
small karmic revenge on this one
Victory.
person who's done so much damage.
Yeah. Yeah, the use of like geography in this movie is cool. This movie's like filmed in LA, uses LA so beautifully. Even when they're at the bank scene and like by LAX airport, that was awesome. Or like the way they use East LA at some points.
Mm-hmm.
She's driving through, I don't
I
know.
appreciate that's recognizably LA. There's a lot of
It
movies
is.
shot in LA that just don't seem like LA, really.
Yeah, they just shoot it and you're just like, I think that's LA.
Yeah.
And then this one you're like, oh, this is LA. This is definitely it.
Right. There's like
Yeah.
that mural of Juan Gabriel
Yeah.
on the wall when she walks by,
Yeah.
which I appreciate. R.I.P.
The homeless. Oh yeah, R.I.P. The homeless and everything. There's like a brief shot of that.
Yeah, it's not a lot of people, not a lot of filmmakers that just sort of are willing to like.
What's up with that? They just stopped shooting in L.A. Is it because of the tax break or something? I heard it's getting harder to shoot in California, right?
Maybe. I think there's still a lot of shooting. They're just like, I don't know. They're just like so anonymous sometimes.
They are.
They look for something that's not authentic. They look for something that's, I don't know, aesthetically pleasing maybe.
Yeah.
So they shoot in the gentrified neighborhoods that just look like any gentrified neighborhood in anywhere. Toronto, New York, London.
Yeah.
Look like anywhere else. And I appreciate that when a filmmaker goes for something that seems authentic and lived in.
Like where she's in the beginning, where she's walking up before they find the body of Silas. I think that location's used in that movie, that Nick Cage movie, 8mm.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure they use that same location. It's another weird LA movie.
I should watch that movie.
Have you seen that one?
Like I saw it on like TV when I was like 8, and I was like, oh, it's scary.
Yeah, I saw it one time on TV
Changed the
on
channel.
Cinemax a
Yeah.
long time ago. Then I rewatched it. I think Joaquin's in that movie. Maybe I'm trying
he?
to remember.
Maybe.
That's a weird ass movie. It's like Hardcore by Paul Schrader.
Yeah.
It's like an updated version.
Yeah.
You know. What do you think of Hardcore? You've seen it, right?
I've seen Hardcore.
I love that movie so much.
It's a classic Schrader movie.
I like when he's watching the actual film and he's like,
George C. Scott, huge homophobe, but he's a great actor.
Is he?
Sorry. Yeah.
Why am I surprised? But like,
Not
I'm
surprised.
I'm surprised, and then at the same time, I'm not surprised. Like, I'm like disappointed to hear, but then I'm like, oh no, it's George C. Scott, Nick. Come
Yeah.
on, use your head, dude. You know?
He was like the complete opposite of Lee Marvin.
Yeah.
He wasn't a homophobe.
Yeah.
He's very much gay.
Really?
Nah.
Dude,
I'm bullshitting.
he's
I
gonna
don't know.
kick Lee Marvin's in it.
Lee Marvin's ghost is
Yeah, he's gonna
the
kick
Sons
your
of Lee
ass.
Marvin. You ever heard of those?
Dude, who's a part of the Sons League? Jim Jarmusch, Tom Waits.
Tom Waits.
Who else?
I forgot.
There's one more.
Who was that guy in Lost Highway? Balthazar Getty, I think he was one of them.
Oh, is he one of
I
them?
think so.
Balthazar? Really?
Maybe.
I guess he kind of does look like. Yeah, Balthazar.
Good for them. Anyway, Hardcore is a good movie.
Meanwhile, we're the sons of short Mexicans.
Yeah. We don't look like anybody. Not even Cantinflas or anything.
Cantinflas, sons of Cantinflas.
Grow a little mustache.
Yeah.
But yeah, George
Is he
C.
still relevant over there? Do people talk about that in Cantinflas? Like
Definitely.
Charlie
He's like a
Chaplin?
national legend.
Right?
Cantinflas or Chavo del Ocho.
Yeah.
But too bad people over here don't know him as
Yeah.
he's pretty good.
There was a movie, like Gael Garcia Bernal played him, I think.
No, I think
Who
he
was
just
it?
produced
Or is it Diego Luna?
It's like some
Who
random
played it? Was
dude.
it a random dude?
But I haven't seen it. But we should do one of his movies sometime.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, Hardcore. Just such a there's like for some reason Schrader like wrote 4 scripts that are influenced deeply by The Searchers, Taxi Driver, Hardcore. There was other one, Rolling Thunder,
Yeah.
that are about taking revenge on men who like try to like steal their women away.
Yeah.
Very insecure masculine films.
Jealousy.
Yeah, about like sort of like the turning like after the 60s, sort of like the turning of the tide, women's liberation.
We're
and,
taking them back.
And men
God.
being completely unwilling to like women being defiled by immigrants or Native Americans.
Oh, dude, you just got me thinking of Death Wish. Charles Bronson.
Yeah.
That's like a whole, like Jeff Goldblum plays like one of the dudes and like.
Yeah, they're always like Italian or Jewish or something
Yeah.
or even black.
There's always There's like a Puerto Rican, a black guy, and like a Cuban and a Mexican, and they all
They're
have
taking
a woman.
over. They're taking our
Yeah.
women.
We gotta take it back.
And we're going to take it back by the classic violence, classic American force.
It's just when was the last? I guess Gran Torino. That was like the last one where it was
It's
just
really like that though. It was more like an old Clint Eastwood learning that immigrants
Right.
aren't so bad.
yeah, he's like, yeah.
Speaking of which, did you ever see Richard Jewell?
I did. I love that movie.
Peter Walter Hauser is a great actor. I love that
Dude,
guy.
that guy. That is like that was one of my favorite performances from 2019. That was
Yeah.
yeah, that dude was working at a port of subs.
Was he?
Yeah, at one point. Yeah.
Good for him.
He got
He's
put
just
in
so
the movie
good.
because he met Dustin Lance Black on the set of. He met him somewhere. I forgot. I think he went to an audition or something, and he told Dustin Lance Black, "I really liked your Oscars speech
That's
about
nice.
people who are queer being accepted into the world." And I guess that stuck with Dustin Lance Black. And then like he got like an audition or something.
First time I saw him was like I, Tonya.
It was something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
But
first. He's
that's
really
his
funny
first
in that
role,
movie.
right? Yeah.
And he's just like he's just pure talent.
He is pure talent.
reminds
How
me of,
about
like-
that scene when he's eating the donut and he bursts into tears
Yeah.
and he's eating it? I was like, holy shit. I think I started tearing up in that movie at that point.
And just like it's such a good combination of Kathy Bates and Sam Rockwell.
Yeah.
It's like what a
I really
combo.
like Kathy Bates in that movie.
Yeah, she's great. Always great. Always been great.
That was like, I thought that's like one of the better like Clint Eastwood post 2010s movies. Like it just
Yeah, I like Changing a lot.
Changeling's a good one. Yeah,
Yeah.
Angelina Jolie. He just has these movies where they all look the same and feel the same, but then obviously the stories are different, but they all have like that same look. I don't know. But
Yeah, I mean, good for him. He's like 80, what now? 84, 87?
no, he's 91, I think.
Is he?
He's nice in his
Crazy.
90s.
He's still going. And yeah, I wasn't a fan of American Sniper by any means.
I missed that one. I gotta watch that one. I'll watch it.
Yeah, I mean, he's great, obviously. I think he's a great director. But anyway, I got off track. Yeah, now Peter Walter Hauser reminds you of Ned Beatty.
Oh yeah, he does. They got the same thing going on. Good character face.
Yeah. Charles Lawton, maybe.
That's what I want to be. I want to be a character actor.
You want to be like a Scoot McNairy.
I just want to be that dude that shows up in movies and people are like, oh, I think that's the guy from this and that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's him. I would never want to be the lead man, like in like big movies. I just want to be the dude, like the dude. He just shows up, does his thing,
dude.
does the lines, and that's it. Yeah, Richard Jewell. I don't know. Yeah, that movie's like, oh man, I love that movie. I think I saw that one and Little Women back to back, like on the same day.
Oh, yeah.
Like at an AMC in LA.
What a double feature.
Yeah. And the dude next to me and during Little Women, I had to change seats. Because the dude next to me was weird. He walked in, he sat next to me, and he was like eating popcorn. And he had like his phone out or something, and like he was and he kept on like going like, he had his phone out. He's like, I'm sorry. Looking over at me and the dude next to him, and he put it away and he pulled it out and he go, I'm sorry. And at one point he actually like left to go to the restroom or something, and then I switched seats. I moved all the way up to the front. And then I actually heard him say, hey, where'd that guy go? I'm not joking. He asked the dude next to him, wait, where'd that guy go? And that was it.
That's so funny. Like I can imagine him like standing at the entrance, like looking for you.
Wait, yeah. That dude was acting like he knew me. He was like, Nick, where'd he go?
Where'd my friend go?
I don't know. Movie theater experiences. Oh, yeah, we got to do that episode.
What?
Best movie theater
best movie theater experiences? Or funny ones, I guess. Anyway, Destroyer. Nicole Kidman's performance.
Destroyer,
Her makeup is just, I keep trying to find the word to describe it, but it's just like...
In which sequence? The old one or the new one?
New one. It doesn't seem natural.
It doesn't.
But I think it's on purpose. Like,
It
the
is
whole
on
movie
purpose.
is just very subjective experience of her character.
It is. Even her
And-
freckles in the past.
Yeah.
They don't look real. I don't know.
Right.
They look weird.
I mean, I think
She's
she's
just
just
too,
like...
dude. She's just too beautiful. Like when she was trying to play like a low life undercover cop in the past, I was like, dude, I can just.
Yeah. You just got to buy into it, I guess.
Yeah, you got to buy.
But the thing is that I think we've just seen Nicole Kidman for so long. It's just like it's hard to see her when she's different. Like freckles, we don't buy that. Nicole Kidman with freckles. No. But at the same time, we just have to suspend disbelief and buy into that.
Yeah.
These people believe her. Like, yeah, all those people look too good to be criminals.
Like Silas.
Yeah, or like Tatiana Maslany. She doesn't look like someone who's like a drug
No,
addict.
She just
Sorry to anyone that insults, but yeah, Tatiana Maslany doesn't.
Yeah,
look like,
she looked. The people were too pretty. I
She
guess
just looks
we were
good.
saying. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but yeah, I don't know. I don't have a crush on her or anything. It's just like I don't know.
No, I know. Sometimes the beauty of actors comes through the screen. I felt the same way when we were watching Lovers Rock.
Maybe
Just
that seemed like a lot more natural though.
They were beautiful. Like the
Yeah.
women in that movie, I was like, whoa. I was like, whoa.
Whoa, hey, it's getting hot in here, huh?
Rodney Dangerfield.
Whoa.
What's another movie she's done?
Who?
Karyn Kusama.
The Invitation, Aeon Flux,
Oh, she did Aeon Flux?
Jennifer's Body,
Oh, wow.
Girl Fight.
Yeah. Oh, Jennifer's Body. Man, that was such a huge movie.
Yeah.
Blue Cody written.
Yeah, it's making a comeback now. People really appreciate it when it came out.
Yeah, people trashed that movie.
I remember buying it at a flea market, pirate copy in Mexico. I was like,
Really?
oh, this is sexy.
I saw. Yeah, no, because I saw it and I was like, it was okay.
I mean, sometimes we're not ready for the movies that come out when they come out, right?
Speed Racer.
Yeah, Speed Racer. Richard Jewell.
Richard Jewell.
Yeah.
Hey man, Richard Jewell. Yeah. Yeah. No, Jennifer's Body was one of those movies when it came out. It was like hated on because of Megan Fox. I think a lot of people just hated Megan Fox in general. She was going the like Paris Hilton route, where people were just immediately dismissive of her.
I mean, people back then, probably still now, but just more, kept hush hush. People, I don't know. She was like this sort of not marketed, but just like tabloids, and people would gossip about her. So she was like just like a bimbo or something that didn't have a brain.
Yeah, that's
she was,
what
like,
she
in the
was.
Transformers movies.
Yeah,
and she was always like,
and her beef with Michael Bay kind of hurt the whole thing.
Yeah, well, that was after Jennifer's Body, I think, but
yeah,
people just never took her seriously.
No,
it's too bad.
No, I enjoy that movie, Jennifer's Body.
I haven't mean to rewatch it, but just
it's probably going to be remade soon.
Maybe. I don't know. I think they're more into like previous IPs that were just like,
what's that?
Success, like intellectual properties.
Oh, yeah.
So like they're probably like remake some sitcom as like a horror movie or something. Turn Cheers into like a dramatic 3-hour Eugene O'Neill play.
I don't think you can't do a Eugene O'Neill play. What is it? Long Day's Journey Tonight, right?
Yeah, Iceman Cometh.
Have you read the Homecoming by Pinter?
No.
Okay, yeah, that's a weird one. I read it one time 3 years ago, and I still think about that play on a daily basis or weekly.
Yeah, have you ever read Buried Child?
Sam. That's a weird one too.
About that a lot.
Especially the ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just goes for it.
Yeah.
It's just like a real, like, the first time I read it, I was like, this is a play, man. This is something else.
Yeah.
This isn't like that, like, black box bullshit. This is like
black
a real
box bullshit.
This is real theater.
I know where that anger's coming from.
No, I like black box features. No offense.
No, I know. I'm just talking about your experience you had that one time.
Did I? What experience?
Didn't we do the
that play thing? Yeah. Francis took on too much to handle, and then I had to quit in solidarity for some reason.
So I'll never forget that email you showed me.
Oh yeah.
There was like you sent it. I was like, you sent it like this? I was like, there's a typo. And you're like, this is what you said. Yeah, I know. I took the wind out of my sails.
That's your impression of me.
I have a pretty good one of you.
Make me sound like Bob Ford over here.
Bob Ford? Who's that?
Casey Affleck in that movie.
Oh, that's true. No, his is more like down. It's like, yeah.
It's like whiny.
A little bit, yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Jennifer's Body.
I just have to say,
fight.
Not that anyone cares. That was doing a pretty good job directing that play, and someone came in and ruined it. You know who you are if you're listening.
Aeon Flux. Yeah, I remember when this one came out.
Yeah, she's had a hard time.
Who, Karyn Kusama?
Yeah, I mean, like
she's done a lot of TV and stuff.
Financially wise, I mean, like,
oh really?
She should have a better movie career than she does.
She should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As it turns out, that women get put into director's jail a lot longer than men.
Yeah.
Because it seems like I love James Gray, but like none of his movies have ever made any money, and somehow he keeps making them.
Who do you like? That's true. Lost City of Z.
Yeah, before that, Emigrant, We Own the Night, The Yards.
I love those movies.
I mean, The Yards, between Yards and We Own the Night, it was like 7 years. It's a long time.
I haven't seen The Yards.
It's good.
I love We Own the Night. I always thought that movie was ahead of its time.
Yeah.
That was one of those movies where I was like a little bit obsessed with. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just felt
it
like
sort of has
good.
this like, hard to describe his style, right?
It is.
It's sort of like a 70s, sort of also like a 50s, very classical sort of filmmaking.
After The Immigrant, he kind of like started doing his own thing. It kind of felt like he came into his own.
Yeah, Immigrant's a great movie.
It is.
Underappreciated.
Yeah, that's a beautifully lit movie.
Ad Astra.
Oh yeah, I love that one too. I know people hate that movie, but dude, I fucking love that movie.
I went Discount Monday. People were fucking.
I know. I saw it on IMAX, like the second day it came out, and people were on their phones. People were talking. People were
Yeah.
like exhaling, and I was like, just going like, dude, this is amazing, like the way it looks and everything, and like, I don't know. Donald Sutherland comes out too. Have you seen
Yeah.
Casanova with him?
Fellini?
Fellini's?
Not yet, no.
Fuck, I have to watch that. I can't find like any
I have a copy.
hard copies locally.
Well,
Like
not a hard copy. I have
Oh,
a digital copy if
damn
you
it.
want it. Oh,
I know. I was trying to look for Ginger and Fred the other day, and that was a pain in the butt.
whenever you want, just bring your hard drive over. I can
All
help
right.
you out.
But yeah, James Gray,
Anyway, we've gone off
Lost
track.
City of Z. That's a weird one too.
Sort of.
How would you even describe Lost City of Z? You know, Lost City of Z and Destroyer have like the same thing going on. People focused on something,
Yeah, obsession. Sort of.
obsessions over things.
Lost City of Z just reminds me a lot of, the obvious Aguirre, Werner Herzog movies, Fitzcarraldo,
Fitzcarraldo, yeah.
or Roberto.
Even then, it's kind of that movie reminds me of like something out of like. It reminds me of like a pulp magazine story
Yeah, it's sort of like an adventure movie.
out of like the 40s or 30s. It reminds me of like something like Clark Gable could have done that movie. Like he could have been in it. I don't know.
I don't know if Clark Gable had the range.
You know what I mean? But do you know what I mean? Though it kind of has that like weird old Hollywood
Yeah.
feel to it, and it's weird. I
Sort of
don't know.
like, yeah, it has that old adventure movie sort of
Adventure,
feel,
they'd
sort
be
of
like,
Treasure
"We
of
gotta go
Sierra
find the Lost City
Madre.
of Z, see?
Yeah, it reminds sort of John Huston.
Something like that.
What's the one? The Man Who Would Be King with
haven't seen that
Michael
one.
Caine, Sean Connery.
Okay.
It's a good movie.
What are we doing next? What's the next movie?
I don't know. I
Let's go
don't
to the
remember your
list.
list. Let's finish talking about Destroyer first.
Oh, okay.
What else have we talked? I want to talk about other things. Forgot why it was though. That scene with Toby. He's dying. He's
Oh, okay. Let's go back to that.
in his
yeah.
living room.
What do you think of that scene? The owls.
The owls, like,
He's
do
like,
they mean
don't
anything?
let them. Yeah, don't let them see me. Or like, was it turn that one around and not in front of the owls when, Aaron.
Yeah.
She to get information out of him. He asks to get a
Hand job.
hand job.
Get jerked
Yeah.
off.
Get jerked off. Yeah, that was pretty intense. That scene.
I want to say heartbreaking. It's sad.
It
It's
was
a sad
sad.
guy. It's a sad guy at the end of his life who just hasn't done anything worthwhile, really. And the only thing he has left is just a sad
He's living with his mom.
orgasm. And he gets him. He asks her to get in front of the owls because it just reminds him of him dying.
Yeah.
All these people are just sending him owls.
Like the way she does the scene is ugh. It made me feel uncomfortable.
No, yeah, it's definitely even. There doesn't matter what position a woman occupies. It's always really gonna be about sex ultimately.
Halfway through, I kind of started looking away. I was like, oh god.
Yeah, it's
I
uncomfortable.
was like, ugh. And then she's like, lower your shirt, and she lowers her shirt. I was
Yeah.
like, ugh. I don't know. I'd
mean,
be
it's just
interested to see how they filmed that scene.
Just
Who was in the room, DP, sound, and
Yeah, probably just the basics.
the basics. They're like, yeah, clear the set for this one. This is
It's a sad scene because it just, I don't know, you don't see those often where you just see a character just sort of debased and desperate.
I think anybody else would have cut this scene.
Yeah,
I thought
probably
they were gonna cut it. I
they
thought
probably got some notes.
I thought they were just
cut
lift it
away.
and
Yeah,
just
I know
cut
what you
away,
mean.
and you're just like, oh, she did something, but we will never know what.
Yeah, and this is very much a movie that makes you actually see and feel the ugliness of it.
Yeah,
Any other way of doing it would have been weak and cowardly.
I agree. Yeah, it's a gross scene.
It's not that gross. It's not sallow.
No, of course not. But
It's just sad. It's more sad than
have you
anything.
seen that one?
Sallow? Yeah.
I gotta
Should do it.
rewatch that one. I don't
do
think
it
I could make it through it again, from what I remember.
Why?
It's one of those depressing movies.
Pasolini goes hard, man.
Pasolini.
He doesn't hold back.
What's that movie where Willem Dafoe plays Pasolini? Doesn't he play
It's
him?
called Pasolini, I think.
Right, Abel Ferreira, right?
Yeah.
Does that one?
I haven't seen it yet, but yeah. Have you seen the one Dafoe plays Bango? Gates of, what's it called?
Oh, Eternity's Gate.
Eternity's Gate. At
I
Eternity's
haven't
Gate.
seen that one.
He's great in
He
that.
plays him twice, doesn't he? In an animated Van Gogh movie.
Did he?
Pretty
I
sure.
think he might have done the voice or something, yeah.
Yeah, there's the animated Van Gogh movie, and then there's the Eternity's Gate.
Yeah, and then Oscar Isaac plays Galgan.
That's right. Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, I gotta watch that one. I keep seeing the DVD and looking at it,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, I gotta watch this one.
He was like 25 years older than Mango ever was, and it still
Oh,
works. It just makes sense that Mango would just look that old and sad.
Well, people looked like that back then. They just looked like
Yeah, and something else though. It's
older.
like almost like 30 years difference.
Right.
Anyway, going back to Nicole Kidman's performance, she sort of like limps around,
The breathing,
the breathing, the limping,
limping.
which I do my research on IMDb.com, and some
Right.
user left a note that was probably from frostbite. She lost some toes from the story her daughter told about getting lost in snow.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so she sort of shuffles around, and sort of like a I don't know, zombie-like shuffle.
She is a zombie.
Like
in this
sort of like
movie.
a Living Dead sort of thing, where she's just sort of like almost gone entirely. It's just like this, like she's only like just breathing, but like most of her is just gone. Just left the building, and I don't know. A lot of people feel annoyed when pretty, like you said, beautiful actors try to like play someone who's like ugly. And,
Yeah, like Monster.
and like Monster. Blanking other examples.
I always like when they do that, though. They become something. That's what acting is. They
Yeah.
just become something else.
Or just Christian Bale like shaving his head and like pretend to like be bald and like
the fighter.
hustle or something. It seems like women get a lot worse though. They like get like that critique a lot worse than men do. Like with men, it's like expected, like for like Raging Bull for like marriage, like gain 80 pounds. But for like when women do it, they're like they're just wanting an Oscar nomination instead of like no,
What's another movie like
it's their
that? I'm trying to
job
think.
to transform themselves for a role.
I'm trying to think of another movie where they just transform. Man, I can't remember.
Oh, let me look it up.
I think Sharon Stone in Casino. That's pretty.
Sharon Stone Casino.
It's not like physically, transformative, but the character.
Yeah, I mean, I was started getting to Paul Verhoeven over the
Paul Verhoeven
or the
Me too.
Bakey. Yeah, like Basic Instinct,
Oh yeah. Okay.
Total Recall.
Yeah.
What was the other one I saw? Showgirls. Showgirls.
Oh, you
underrated.
watched Showgirls?
I watched it for the first time.
You've never seen Showgirls?
No.
Dude, we got to do that one. I've seen Showgirls twice. I love that movie. It's one of those like I had never seen Kyle MacLachlan before that movie.
Yeah.
I was I came up in the 90s, so like
Yeah.
Blue Velvet wasn't on my radar yet. So when I saw him like in Showgirls, I thought he was the nastiest like scumbag sleazy dude of all time.
Yeah.
And then I saw, Blue Velvet and Twin Peaks. I was like, he's not that bad of a guy. I just
No.
caught him in a bad moment. But yeah, dude, Elizabeth Berkley in that movie,
Yeah.
holy crap, man. Like, stunning.
Yeah.
And that was one of those movies where it was like, she's no longer, the girl from Saved by the Bell. She's now going to be a sex symbol. She's going to break out of that stereotype,
That seemed like that. Yeah, it's too bad that it got such a bad reception.
Oh, yeah. That movie, I mean, dude, just the sex scene alone in the pool.
Yeah.
Like, that's just like, I rewatched that scene recently. I had to show somebody. I'm like, dude, you ever seen Showgirls? Have you ever seen this scene? And like, they're like, dude, what is this? And like,
It makes perfect sense in the movie. Like I remember like seeing that show and like one of those like BH1 or Bravo worst movies of all time.
I think it was like in that
Yeah,
sexiest scenes of all time.
And I was
maybe.
like,
I don't know.
when I saw that as a kid, I was like, oh yeah, I guess that's pretty bad. But then like you see that in the movie, and it makes perfect sense.
It does make perfect sense.
And
Yeah.
also, yeah, Elizabeth Berkley gives a great performance.
I liked when she gives Kyle MacLachlan the lap dance and like he like comes in his pants.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite. Just like fucking hilarious, just like bizarre scenes of all time. I don't know.
It's a great movie. Just
Yeah.
flat out. It's like people like. There seemed like initially after it came out, and people were like, "It's so bad, it's good." And then it was like, "Oh no, it's satire, it's camp." But then I feel like it's now generally it's a great movie.
Yeah,
You know, it's
watch.
like-
I have to rewatch it. I haven't seen it in probably like 10+ years.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's just one of those weird little 90s like movies where it's like this weird time capsule of like Vegas too,
Yeah.
It came out around the same time as same year as Casino, and I think probably like a year or two before Leaving Las Vegas, or maybe the same year, I don't know, but
Like a few years after, I think.
Yeah. It's just one of those weird. I don't know. I gotta rewatch it though. But I just remember Elizabeth Berkley, and I was like, "Holy crap!" I just remember seeing her on Saved by the Bell, and then I saw that, and I was like, "Jesus!"
Yeah, I think we talked about this before, but it seems like women actresses give much more adventurous, daring performances than men do, and then they just get criticized for it.
They do. I remember she kind of went the it wasn't as bad as Chloe Sevigny and Brown Bunny, but it was kind of like people were like, "What the fuck?" You know what I mean? Just like shocked.
Oh no, like her agent left her.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
After like it bombed.
Oh, yeah, it bombed terribly. Right?
It's too bad. And it's like
NC-17, right?
No, I think it got. Did it?
I'm pretty sure it's
sure.
an NC-17. It has to be with that sex scene. Oh my god.
Yeah, I guess so.
Just the cum scene alone, and he comes in his pants, and I was like, "What the?"
Yeah.
You know, it's like a Skinamax movie.
Yeah, it does sort of have that vibe. In a
Yeah.
way.
What other one did he do, Paul Verhoeven?
I want to watch RoboCop.
Oh, you haven't seen RoboCop?
No, I gotta watch Starship
Really?
Troopers.
That one too, dude. Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
I like that one. Denise Richards,
Yeah.
Jake Busey, Gary Busey's son's in it.
Black Book.
But I haven't seen that one.
It's like a World War II spy drama.
Okay.
And Elle, Isabelle Huppert,
Haven't
came
seen
out
that
a few years ago. Got good reviews. Yeah, I just want to get into them. I just want to get into like another dirty German.
Yeah, it just it feels like for a while there, his movies were just like weird, campy, like cartoony movies, like Starship Troopers.
Yeah, they're also very
Showgirls.
I guess I don't know if satirical is the right word, but they like have something to say
Yeah.
about. I mean, like the movies he made in America about America itself, capitalism,
Yeah, Starship Troopers,
the class system.
military,
Total Recall,
industrial
too.
complex. Yeah,
Total Recall, such a weird movie, and can't believe.
I love that movie.
Yeah, it's great.
It's just. Yeah, it's
I
one of
love
Arnold's
when
best
Arnold
movies.
Schwarzenegger, it's like he's like in that old lady, like that old fat lady, and then he like her like voice malfunctions, and like the face like splits open. It's a great scene. Also, yeah.
Why did you get into this, dude?
Oh, he's like his movies were there. I was like, oh, I haven't seen this before.
RoboCop's awesome.
I don't think I've ever seen it. I think I've only seen like clips and bits and pieces of
Yeah,
it.
that movie's like fucking awesome, man. It's one of those cherished '80s movies.
Yeah.
Way too dark for its time, but it's a fun movie. Can't believe they remade that movie too. It's such a terrible idea to remake a movie like that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they like studios see anything that made money back then. They're like, oh, we can do this twice. We can do it again. And anyway, what other movies did I watch? I watched Tenet on the way back on the plane. Christopher Nolan. I don't know. I still don't get it. I don't know. I don't know. Like it's the second time I watched it. It got me more confused than the first time.
Okay, I gotta rewatch it.
Yeah,
I'll rewatch it.
You can't explain it to me.
What's
going on with this movie?
Man, I don't know.
What is a temporal pincer movement?
I don't know. It controls. It could be It could be technology from the future.
Yeah.
Or it could be alien technology.
I don't think they were
one of those.
Like, the thing that mostly confused me, or like I didn't like, is like why does John David Washington care so much about Elizabeth Debicki's character? Like he's like fucking up his own job just to like save her.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like I don't understand. It's like
I'm not too sure.
like he's not even in love. He's just like all of a sudden he decided to grow a conscience and try to save her.
I'm not too sure. Yeah.
And then like we should care about her because she cares about her son, but we like see her son for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's like he's just like a guy, it's like a little dude. It's like why is
it's
he
kind of weird.
It's just like
I'll rewatch it.
Yeah.
But I remember the first time. I remember like when I watched it initially, I enjoyed it so much, even though I had no idea what it was about. I think I told you I was like, I have no idea what that movie's about. I can't explain it, but it made me feel good. Like it just made it did its job. I don't know. It's a summer blockbuster. It's Chris Nolan. I was like, this is fun.
Yeah.
So I have no idea.
I don't know.
I still don't know half the fucking dialogue in that movie.
Yeah.
I couldn't even hear. I was like, what are they saying? Like mumbling. I was like, blah, blah, blah.
It's not even mumbling. It's just like it just seems like it was not mixed well. Like it was like muffled. Reading a text out and it looks troubling. I'm not sure what it is.
Oh, text message.
Okay.
All right.
But yeah,
So which movies did you see while you were gone?
good lead-in. I saw a lot of movies, Nick. Well, starting with probably my favorite. We already talked about Total Recall, but besides that, I rewatched A History of Violence. Cronenberg.
Vito.
Yeah, John Hurt.
I liked immediately when he turns into the other guy.
Yeah.
Because all along before that moment, what's his real name?
Joey.
Joey. Right before he turns into Joey, you want to believe that he's not Joey. Like, you want to believe that he's just, what's his alter ego?
I don't know.
Yeah, you want to believe he's a good dude.
Yeah.
And you want to think it's mistaken identity. But then that twist, when they're like, right, Joey, or something, he goes, and he turns into Joey. It's fucking scary, you know?
I like how he talks about himself in the third person.
Oh.
It's like, I tried to kill Joey. Joey died a long time ago.
Yeah, there you go, yeah. Ed Harris in that movie is so freaking cool.
Yeah.
Also, what's up with the beginning of that movie? They started out like the shot. It's just like
it's like a tracking shot.
a tracking shot. And it just leads, right?
Yeah, sort of like a horizontal tracking shot.
I love that scene.
And yeah, Cronenberg. I love Cronenberg now. This has been the year of Cronenberg for me.
Really?
Yeah, like I always liked him before and seen a few of his movies.
Man,
but now
I remember
like,
I was so obsessed with Cronenberg for a minute there. Like,
Yeah.
like Dead Ringers,
yeah.
Crash. You know.
I saw also Cosmopolis.
Is that one good?
Harpats. It's hard to watch,
Okay, why?
but it is good.
Why is it hard to watch?
It's a lot of dialogue. It's very postmodern. It's adapted from that Don DeLillo novel.
Oh, okay.
So it's very dense. A lot of people talking. Obviously not very naturalistic. The complete opposite of naturalistic, if you can imagine that. But it is good. Also, a favorite, Naked Lunch.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Great movie.
I've read the book 3 times.
Oh, really? Wow.
I don't understand it. I'm gonna be reading it a 4th time.
Mm-hmm.
The movie's awesome.
Yeah. It's just...
That's a Criterion movie too. For
Yeah.
some reason, they just put it on there.
No,
like,
it's why
it's
not?
a good movie, but financial like box office success and like I don't hear people talking about that movie either.
No. Because it's crazy it got made in the first place.
I don't know how it got made.
No, yeah.
Dude, have you read that novel?
No, I haven't.
I read it a couple years ago again, and
Mhm.
like it's just fucking weird.
It is.
It's like dark, funny, grotesque, extremely perverted.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You should try and read it. 'Cause
Yeah.
I have never met anybody like around my age who's read that novel. I talked about it with an old dude.
I only have ever read Junkie.
Yeah, I haven't read Junkie. I read The Ticket That Exploded, I think. Because I have like a lot of his books.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was talking about it with this old dude, Naked Lunch, and he was, he was giving me that speech of like, you kids nowadays. Let me tell you
Yeah.
something. And then we got on the subject about Naked Lunch. I was like, yeah, this book's weird. He was like, yeah, you know that book? I was like, yeah, man. And he was like, you kids, I don't even know how you guys put up with that. You guys are all sensitive. I mean, the things in that book. Oh man. I was like, yeah, I know.
I like how Cronenberg combines Burroughs' actual life
Yeah,
with the book.
yeah. There's the Exterminator
Yeah.
reference as well.
It's just, I don't know, man. If I ever made a movie, I want it to be like that. So it's
Naked Lunch.
weird and absurd, funny,
Yeah,
sexual.
and I think that's the best way you can make that movie too.
Yeah.
I can't picture anybody our age making that movie. I've thought about like how would I make that movie. That's one of the few movies that I would try to remake, or at least adapt it into my own quote unquote the way I see the book. But yeah, it's a hard movie to adapt.
Definitely.
I don't even know where to begin. But
Yeah.
I think the closest thing that we can get to a Burroughs like depiction of life, Jim Jarmusch's Only Lovers Left Alive. The Tangier setting, the way it goes from like America and then like overseas flows.
Yeah, the influence is obvious.
Yeah.
But yeah, all of this course of this whole year, I've been watching all of the movies I haven't watched from him: Scanners, The Brood.
Oh, Scanners.
Shivers. Videodrome. I've seen that before. I love that movie. I saw it again.
James Woods, man.
Yeah. Long Live the New Flesh.
Yeah.
It's the great movie. Just, I don't know, man. Great stuff. I love him now.
Yeah, sometimes I get a little sad because I'm like, what happened, man? He hasn't done, that much since.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess, like, the business caught up to him, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe Cosmopolis got made for how much it did.
Okay.
But, yeah, besides that, what else we got? Dead Zone, I saw that. Christopher Walken, of course. Map to the Stars. Just a great filmmaker. Just weird. Need more weirdos around. I'm constantly just like looking for a new weirdo. And I don't know if you've seen his son's movie, Brandon Cronenberg.
No.
What was it called?
I have no idea.
Give me a second, Vamp.
I've seen Jennifer Lynch's movie, Surveillance.
Oh yeah, how was that?
I actually enjoyed that movie.
Is that his actual daughter?
David Lynch's daughter, yeah, Jennifer Lynch.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. I'll have to cut this out. Look up for.
That's all right. Hold on, I gotta.
Possessor. That's what it's called. Anyway, some other highlights from my trip. What was I gonna say? Yeah, besides the little Paul Verhoeven movies we talked about before, Demon Lover by Olivier Assayas. It's a great movie.
I haven't seen that one.
Fantastic stuff, and you gotta watch it. I'll send you the link. But yeah, it stars Connie Nielsen, Chloe. 2002.
Demon Lover?
Yeah. Well, it stars Connie Nielsen and Chloe Sevigny, Gina Gershon. Takes place in France, and it's about how two different corporations go head to head over the rights to a 3D manga pornography studio. And Olivier Assayas did Personal Shopper.
Okay.
Carlos.
Yeah, Carlos I've seen.
And great movie, really ahead of its time in terms of.
I was about to say this sounds like a really fucking funny movie.
So yeah, it's sort of funny. It's more like a thriller, like a spy thriller, corporate espionage, that kind of thing. Really ahead of its time with how debased.
Hold on, let me check.
The average American male would come in terms of like what they want for pornography. And yeah, it's one for you sick kids out there, you sick fucks. And also Gosford Park by Robert Altman.
I haven't seen that one in a while.
No, you saw it?
A long time ago.
Disappointing that people think it's boring. They think it's great. I love the way Robert Altman just shoots his movies and the way that the focus is mainly on the characters and the dynamic between the upper class and the lower class, upstairs, downstairs kind of thing. Which you don't. Just an interesting dynamic to include in a movie about a murder, and the actual murder doesn't take place until like past an hour into the movie. You're mostly just watching these people hang out and gossip about each other.
I just looked up Demon Lover.
Yeah.
I don't know how I missed that movie, but I want to watch it. We should do that one.
Yeah, we should. But yeah, great stuff. Also, I rewatched Blade Runner 2049, which I didn't like that much when it came out. Now I like it a bit more. I think it's pretty cool.
I remember you were harsh toward that movie.
Was I?
Yeah, I remember I brought it up. I said, dude, this movie is amazing.
Uh-huh.
I know it's slow.
Yeah. It's not slow. I don't think it's slow. People say it's slow. It's like, please.
I thought it was, when I saw it,
Please.
I got to see it in IMAX, luckily.
Uh-huh.
Great movie. I fucking love that movie.
Yeah. I mean, just, there's something.
Too much hype, I think.
Maybe. I mean, I think he just has a hard time. What's his name? What's his face?
Gosling?
No. Director. What's his name?
Danny V.
Danny V. That's right. Old Danny V. He has a hard time getting the ball across the finish line in terms of emotions.
I can see that. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, just there's a lot of potential in the story about a guy who wants to be like the savior, the chosen one, and it turns out it's not him. He has to sacrifice himself for someone else who's actually going to be like the chosen one, savior or whatever. And it just like I can tell what the emotion is supposed to be, what it's supposed to be felt, but I don't actually feel it. And I feel like a lot of his movies are like that. he just sort of like gestures at, you're supposed to be feeling this.
I think the overall theme of Blade Runner 2040, I know what you're saying. I kind of feel the same way. I know what you're saying. I like that movie, though. I do.
There's a scene where Joy gets destroyed or deleted, and he doesn't really take enough time to make that moment felt. He just sort of moves on to the next thing.
I just like the whole message of that movie. How Ryan Gosling thinks he's a chosen one or something.
Yeah, he's supposed to be like a hybrid, the special.
He's supposed to be special, but he's not.
Yeah.
He finds out. I just like that disappointment of the main character.
Yeah, he's great in it.
Yeah, man.
I've always been a fan.
Gosling?
Yeah.
You know, man, he has those movies where I'm just like, this is like great.
Yeah.
You know?
He takes risks.
That's what I like about him.
Yeah, there's other actors, for example, Emma Stone, who don't take risks. They're great actors, but they just don't try to do anything weird or out of the mainstream. And
I can
find
see
it's kind of
that.
disappointing that
Cruella came out.
it's not
Forgot.
weird at all.
No.
That's complete corporate cheese. But yeah, good stuff. It's a good movie to put on in the background and just have it playing, you know, just when you're reviving over there. And finally, I rewatched Citizen Kane.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Why?
I love it. Orson Welles is one of my favorite filmmakers.
Dude, I love The Lady from Shanghai.
It's a great movie. Touch of
Touch
Evil
of Evil.
is actually,
That's way better, too.
That's my favorite.
Dude, Orson, there's nothing like late Orson Welles, too. Like, if you
Yeah.
ever see interviews with him, it's just, that's a fucking, like, a dude that doesn't exist anymore. Like, the way he
Right.
talks, the way he, like moves. He's like one of those, he almost reminds me of, like, an Ernest Hemingway or a Scott Fitzgerald character in his later years, talking about, like,
Definitely.
like a man of the world, talking about, like, generals, and then he could, like, talk about war in the same sentence, and then bring up, like, some art thing. Like,
Yeah, he's
yeah,
just,
I don't
just
know.
very smart and just, he always seemed very present to who he was talking to. Like he was actually listening, and then he would respond with something like really insightful.
Yeah, I can't believe he has, like, a child with Rita Hayworth.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah. And
And like she had an affair with Glenn Ford, and like
she did.
Orson Welles showed up
Crazy.
at Glenn Ford's house with a gun, and he started shooting this like the driveway. And he's
heard
like,
that
"Come out like a
story.
man" or something. He's
Uh-huh.
like shooting. Yeah, dude, it's fucking great.
Glenn Ford, why? It's crazy.
I just don't see any appeal to like Glenn Ford. Looks like a 13-year-old like catcher for a little league team.
He has like a big head.
His head is huge. He's not handsome.
He's
But-
sort of like it's something about him.
What he does have is mystery and charisma.
Yeah. He just looks tough. Like he'll protect you.
He looks like he'll protect you.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you were to tell me she had an affair with Glenn fucking Ford,
Yeah.
I don't know, because I think Rita Hayworth is probably like one of the most beautiful women who've ever lived. So
Yeah, who knows? I mean, maybe
I don't know.
I don't know enough
I don't
about Glenn Ford.
then again, I don't know, but it's one of those weird. Okay, so how is Citizen Kane?
It's great. It's still great.
Yeah, I saw it recently too.
Every time I watch it, it's just like it makes sense why people think it's the greatest movie, and also the most influential. It's just the way the camera moves. It's just amazing.
the camera work is amazing. What's his name? Tolan?
Yeah, Greg Toland.
Greg Tolan.
And the blocking is the thing that I go crazy over. It's like creaming my pants over the blocking in this movie
It is pretty good blocking.
because you don't see that anymore. Like Soderbergh
don't.
says, you don't see that kind
That
of
kind of
filmmaking.
blocking is extinct.
It's too bad. If I ever got to make a movie, my
I liked when
meager means,
trying to think of
it's the way I would try to do it.
some scenes in that movie. Yeah, the camera work's awesome. I don't know. I just when I watched that movie,
He's like, I'll send you to Sing Sing Geddes. I'll send you to Sing Sing.
yeah, I'll send you to Sing Sing.
He doesn't say like that. Like
Does
he's
he
like
say
a
it? Right.
newspaper barker. He's like
Yeah.
angry. Like he's been discovered. He's having an affair with Susan
There you
Alexander.
go.
And he's like,
So I bought the San Francisco Chronicle staff. Right? Doesn't he buy the whole staff or something? The writers.
yeah.
Right. I just like the way people talked back then, especially Orson. He said, "What do you mean?" See.
Just a good movie. Just
It's
simple.
a good movie.
well paced.
Oh, somebody told me that's their favorite movie. They're like, my favorite is this, and I said, why? And they were like, a young person. I said, why is this movie? I don't think this movie should be anybody's favorite movie.
Start bullying them immediately.
No, it's a good movie. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't think it's not in my top 10. But it's a good movie though.
Yeah, it's a great movie. I mean, yeah, I can see why you wouldn't think it's someone's favorite movie because it just seems like so far in the past. But there's something just like amazing about it.
There is.
It's so modern. It just feels so modern still.
It's a meditative movie. Like it's before the word meditation like made its way into like criticism of movies.
It's like the editing is so snappy and fast paced. It just doesn't seem like an old movie.
I like the story a lot and the blocking.
Yeah, the performances.
J.J. Gittes, right? Is that his name?
It's Chinatown.
That's Chinatown, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
They're both named Gittes though,
right? Have you seen the Chinatown Part 2? What is it?
The Two Jakes.
Have you seen that?
No,
I haven't seen that.
I should watch it.
I don't watch it.
You don't want to?
I don't want to. I love Chinatown so much.
Yeah, John Alonzo.
Hold on.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah. All right. What's another one? Was that it?
Well, I watched more. I didn't expect a lukewarm response on Citizen Kane.
Sorry. I don't know. It's just one of those movies. Yeah, it's heralded as the greatest movie of all time,
But yeah, I don't know. Got to see a good share of movies. Movies are good, man. I enjoy it. I enjoy watching movies. I enjoy going into a dark room, sitting down, sitting in front of a big screen.
Have you been in that theater?
Yes. Which one?
In the movie Roma, Alfonso Cuarón.
No.
Where is that theater?
It's Mexico City.
Is that like that's like a real spot?
Yeah.
Have you been there?
No.
Gotta go there.
Yeah, I went to a theater like that, like old-fashioned sort of 19th century architecture in Guanajuato. It's pretty beautiful.
All right, guys.
It was like 2 hours.
That was a 2-hour podcast,
90
Destroyer
minutes.
and more. Thank you so much for listening. We'll catch you next time. Check out the episodes, that we put up there. Smooth Talk.
Sicario.
Sicario.
Mikey and Nikki, the classic.
Mikey and Nikki.
The masterpiece, Mikey and Nikki. Kajillionaire. Anyway. Bye, guys.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time. And as always, thanks for listening.